Hello, 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 my beautiful people. It's me, Coach Lee, coming at you with your Movement Monday. Let's get it started. Hey, let's get it moving. Hey, all right, my beautiful people. So, what I want to talk about is consistency. Like, are you really being consistent? Do you know the importance of being consistent? And before I dive in, those that are new to my channel, I am Coach Lee, the world's #1 self-love master educator that uses a holistic approach. I aim to influence individuals to create that shift into your life so you can reach your higher version of self. Be sure to like this video, comment down below, and share it. So let's go into it, baby. With consistency. When I'm asking about consistency, the importance of consistency, when you constantly showing up, when you're constantly doing the work, when you constantly putting yourself out there, you will reap the beautiful benefits. No, seriously, you will really reap so much more. So when I came up with this quarter, doing prayer and meditation, this quarter, my favorite word and phrase is no more excuses, be consistent. And being consistent in every aspect of your life, not just your business. Because a lot of times, especially small business owners, especially corporate business owners, especially working individuals, your main focus that you're being consistent in is your job. You're consistent with that. You're showing up for that. You're doing what you got to do for that. Because it's like, oh, I got to get this money. I got to get this money. I totally get it. I was one of those individuals. I was being so consistent in growing my business that I neglected being consistent in other areas of my life. And one main one was my relationships. And I'm saying relationships with your significant other, your husband, your wife, your children. Sometimes we get so caught up in doing one thing that we neglect being consistent in other areas of our life. So it's really important to make sure you have that balance of work and personal, and having that balance is so you can be consistent and showing up in all aspects of your life. Even when it comes to spiritual, you may overindulge it and do too much, but yet you forgetting and neglecting to be consistent in other areas of your life. Physical. A lot of times we neglecting to be physical and being consistent in that area of our life as well. So being consistent is really showing up and doing what you have to do for self as far as your physical movement, your body. My whole thing, what I used to be like, oh, I walk the dogs, but then I really did not walk the dogs. I literally will open the door, let them out back, and like, there they go, they use the bathroom. And if I stood out there with them, okay, I took the dogs out. So I had to be really intentional and really consistent with my physical, making sure I'm actually going for a physical really walk. And now where I'm located at now currently, it's like I am going for a walk. I'm gonna walk around the lake multiple times throughout the day, and it's refreshing. Yeah, a lot of times it's cold outside and I'm like, oh, I just want to hurry up back in the house. And then others is just like, oh, it's too hot, I want to hurry up back in the house. At the same time, it's like I know what I need to do for my body, and I have to be consistent with it. I have to show up for that. I have to do the work for my body, what it's requiring for my body, because that's what it needs. So being consistent in your physical, being consistent with your mental, making sure you're doing the self-care that you have to do for your mental health. Be consistent with that. And when I'm saying be consistent with that, have someone that you can confide into, have someone that you can talk to, have someone that you can really release. Because a lot of times when it comes to depression, it's holding on to so much energy that the body does not know how to release it because you're not giving it that space to do it. So it shuts down. It's getting under the shutdown mode. And it can shut down your organs. It can shut down your, it can shut down in so many ways where it just, you no longer have the energy to do anything. And that comes from you hoarding stuff inside of you. Yeah, you can hoard stuff inside of you. You can hoard those emotions. You can hoard those feelings. And it has to come out. You be trying to hold feelings in when it's like it's not meant to be held in. It's supposed to be released. trust me, I know I was an individual that was like, I'm not expressing my feelings. I'm not talking about my emotions, blah, blah, blah. When I needed to release that, I needed to let that go from me because it was not serving me. I felt that way and I was too afraid. Yeah, I was too afraid to express it. So I'm like, no, I'm not doing that no more. I have to, if something is on my mind, actually what I do now, if something on my mind, I digest it. And I say digest, like, how is this making me feel? And is this resonating with me? What was going on with me? How come I feel this way after this was happened? And then I'm like, you know what? That made me feel this way because of X, Y, and Z. And if it's an individual it involves, okay, they did whatever they did. I'm like, you know what? When you did X, Y, and Z, it made me feel this way. A lot of times people don't receive it, and it could be they're not in that space either. At the same time, I know I had to release it. If you don't accept me feeling how I feel, that's not on me, that's on you. And a lot of times when people don't accept how you feel, now they get in defense mode. Now they're the ones that's like wanting to be the victim because, oh, you ain't like what I said, so then Now it's like they projecting it back on them as if you said something wrong versus, you know what? I understand that made you feel that way. It was not my intentions, or it may have been your intentions. Oh, well, if you feel that way, that's on you because that's I said it how I wanted to say it. And that's fine because you express what was on your mind. You released it. It's just holding that stuff in is not healthy, y'all. It's really not healthy for your mental. It's not healthy at all for your body. And your body will react to that in so many ways. And I'm just like, please, please, please. Be consistent when it comes to your self-care and your mental health. Self-care is part of your mental health. And that's just making sure you are doing your mind, body, and soul check. When one is off, everything is off. So it's so important to be consistent in your physical being as well, and your spiritual, your relationships, your finances. Sometimes it's like when you're dealing with business and your finances may not be flowing in the correct way because you're really not being consistent in your business. You're being a jack of all trades and a master of none because you're just doing so many things. And it's like, oh, shoot, I'm basically picking up pennies from here, picking up dimes from there, and nickels in the middle, and I'm not seeing anything because you're not being consistent and focusing on one task at a time. Now, I'm what is it called? A serialpreneur, because I have more than one business, but yet at the same time, I already have one that's established, that's really thriving and growing. So it's like, okay, now I can put energy over here because that one is already done. That one is already working within itself. So with that operating and working that way, it's like, okay, now I could do this. Now I could have my focus over here unless I have to do a task in that business. Versus I was the type of person, when I tell you, DoorDash, Grubhub, a secret shopper, whatever it was out there. They even had these events where a brand ambassador, that's what it's called. And I just would go out and vend at certain events for like grand openings. For example, a Family Dollar was having a grand opening and I had to set up and just talk about, oh yeah, this is the new products we have. This is the products coming out. And I'm like, okay, I did that for a couple hours, made my little change. And then it's like, okay, what's next? I was chasing the next hustle. And I'm like, chasing the next hustle was really putting a toll on my body because I had all of these mini hustles, and then I was like, this is really not serving me. I really need to find something that's really gonna not just serve me, serve my community, serve my tribe, serve my people, because I'm aiming out there to serve 100 million people, y'all. I am aiming to serve 100 million people. In doing that, I cannot be doing all these other little mini tasks that does not operate in my passion. So I have to be consistent in it. I have to be consistent overall. I have to be consistent in my relationships with my children, relationships with your spouses. They require you just as well as your business require you. So now I have this thing where after a certain time, business is done. And yeah, my mind be still like, oh, I need to make sure I write this down. No, ma'am, you're not doing no business tasks, no business work until the next day because its business hours are done and it's over. So it's all about really being consistent overall around the board. Remind you, your mind, your body, and your soul has to be in alignment because when one is off, all of it is off. I hope this really resonated with someone. Comment down below and say, I am being consistent. I will be consistent. Consistency is key. Comment down below about consistent. And I thank you so much for listening. And as always, have peace in your mind, love in your heart, happiness in your soul. Namaste. Thank you all, my beautiful people, for listening. Until next time.